Hey, how's it going? Well, I'm coming to you once again from my beautiful scenic garage, and I'm continuing my journey with Gurkha cigars, and today I'm going to be smoking the Warlord. I apologize for the lighting. I know it's not ideal, but it is what it is, and I'm just gonna trek on. So, we've got a nice natural brown wrapper here. Quite lovely. It's very smooth. Faint sweetness, very mild aroma. Little bit of barnyard and a little bit of sweetness. Very sweet on the foot. Nice tobacco smell, sweet tobacco. Wow. Extremely loose draw. The flavor on the cold draw is a nice premium tobacco with a little bit of a bitterness. Huh. Okay. Not much to it, actually. It seems like a very light body. I've got the base flavor of tobacco, a little earthy. Um, Slight bitterness. Not a whole lot to it. I'm kind of surprised by that. Mild spice. The draw is incredibly loose. A little bit of earth, a little bit of cocoa. Just a nice tobacco flavor. Not real complicated. It's good. It's pleasant. I think I'm going to like it. So I'm getting a nutty flavor. There is a spiciness to it that seems to be picking up. So far, I've got a slightly spicy, nutty, earthy tobacco. The loose draw is a little bit weird. It's a little bit bizarre. It's kind of throwing me off. The Gurkha Warlord is Dominican in origin, which I think all of the Gurkhas are. I'm not sure about that. We'll find out. The wrapper is Nicaraguan. It doesn't tell me a whole lot. The binder is Connecticut broadleaf. The filler is Nicaraguan. And according to Cigars International, this is a full-bodied cigar. So that's a little weird. It does not taste like a full-bodied cigar at this point. Of course, I'm only like 5 minutes in, so I'm expecting this is going to develop and keep getting stronger. This says the Gurkha Warlord is a cigar that takes no prisoners and isn't shy about the matter, professing to be one of the greatest and most full-bodied Gurkha blends ever. As the slow burn progresses, notes of nuts, oak, and spice are accentuated by an espresso-like finish. Oak, I don't know if you gave me like 5 planks of wood to smell, I don't know that I could pick out the oak. I can pick out cedar, of course, but I don't know about oak. So maybe it does taste like oak, and I just don't know what oak tastes like or smells like. That could be. Well, I'm about this far in. The flavors are developing. I'd say the primary flavor is a nuttiness. Has a roasted, toasted kind of thing going on. I guess you could call it roasted nuts. There is a coffee bitterness to it. It said that there was oak, and I think maybe there is a woodiness to this. I wouldn't call it oak because I don't know what oak tastes like or smells like. I'll just say it's a woodiness, and leave it at that. If they say oak, fine, I'll go with oak. So, mild spice. The body of it is getting a little bit heavier. It started out incredibly light. especially with the very open draw. I mean, the draw on this thing is wide open, but not incredibly complicated, and it's not overwhelming. The way it was described, you would think it would be like punch you in the face with both hands kind of strong. Since it was described as full body, it talks about how bold it is and stuff. So far, I'm not getting that out of it. I can tell that it is slowly ramping up on the body. So, and of course, I am still in the first third. So we'll find out. But so far, it is a good experience. It's well constructed. You can see has a really nice burn, making a nice stack of ashes. Very neat. No flakes, no crumbles. Very well constructed cigar. There is also something else I've been trying to put my finger on for the past 10 minutes or so. This is one of those times where I wish I had not only a better palate, but a better cigar vocabulary. Because there is something in here that I'm not able to describe. It's got a roasty, toasty, nutty kind of thing and a bitterness. That's very evident to me. But hidden inside of there is a thread of something else. Something green is what I've been thinking. I don't know what that means, but that's the mental image I get. Something green. Not grass. Not like that kind of green, but like, I don't know. Green apple peel, maybe? It's so subtle that it's hard for me to just pull it out and say, "Hey, I know exactly what that is." But it's just like a pinch. You know, if you cook something and you just put like a tiny pinch of something in there. Time to take the mini band off. And at this point, I am feeling a little bit of nicotine from this. And I noticed, see, I don't normally use Cigar's international website, but under their description of the cigar, it's got profile, and it's got from yellow all the way to red. And this cigar is in the red all the way at the end. And in the description, it talks about it having full body, okay? And I find that a little bit strange because I would not call this a full-bodied cigar. But I got to thinking, and I'm wondering if that's their way of indicating the strength of the cigar. Because I am feeling nicotine out of this. And so I'm just into the second third here. And if I'm feeling nicotine from the first third, then by the time it's over, I might just have like a pounding head from it. And I'm wondering if that's their way of saying strength. I also went and I looked at NeptuneCigar.com, and under their description, they've got a similar meter that goes from green to red, and they say next to it that it's the strength. So I'm thinking that Cigars International's little chart is telling me the strength of it, not the body. So that might make sense. I actually went and I looked up something that I remembered seeing a while back called a cigar flavor wheel. And I've been puffing on it and kind of looking at the wheel to see if I can detect what is that otherness in here that I'm tasting. If you look up cigar flavor wheel, and it's got it all broken down into different sections. Fruits, nuts, flowers, plants, herbs, and spices. Like I said, as I was puffing on it and trying to think of what it is I'm tasting, the color green is popping into my mind. But that could be my tiny little brain trying its best to tell me that it's something organic, like a plant or an herb or a spice or something like that. I think for the time being, that's as close as I'm going to be able to put my finger on it. Somebody with a better palate and more experience is probably going to be able to point out and say, hey, that's cardamom, or whatever that is. But for me, for my newbie brain, I cannot detect, I cannot define what it is I'm actually tasting. But there is an otherness to it. So, prominently nuts with a spice, with a little bit of a coffee, and a woodiness that I'll go ahead and agree and say it's oak. It does have a little bit of a caramel sweetness to it. You can smell it even every now and then coming off of it. It's a little bit like, you know how caramel has a lot of different stages to it. I don't know if maybe you don't know that, but you can have a very, very light caramel that's very sweet. But if you keep cooking it, it gets darker and darker and darker. And it gets more and more depth to the flavor until it becomes bitter, and then it becomes like burnt, like scorched tasting. This I would call like a darker caramel. So it does have that. The sweetness in here is a caramel sweetness. It's very subtle. It's not prominent, but it is in there. It's a well-blended cigar, for sure. All those flavors go very well together. Getting down to the band. Time for that to go. I wonder if this is going to be another taped band. Look. Yeah. It's taped. The weird thing to me about taping the band is, you might not necessarily have a knife with you when you're smoking a cigar. I mean, not every time. So, unless you know ahead of time that you're going to need something to get this piece of tape off of here, I don't know what I would do. I don't have much fingernail to get that tiny little thin piece of tape. I'm not sure what I would do if I didn't have a little knife that I could get that with. The spiciness at this point is becoming more pronounced. That's actually starting to take over as the prominent flavor. It's a spicy, nutty flavor. I still like it. I can tell the strength is getting stronger. I'm a little concerned because I'm not really even halfway down yet, and I can feel the nicotine. Well, I am into the final third, and just a moment ago I thought, hey, let me go check out Cigar Obsession, and let's see what Brian has to say about the Gurkha Warlord, because he has smoked pretty much every kind of cigar there is, and sure enough, he does have a video on the Warlord. And he says that he can taste apricot in this. And that kind of clicked with me, and I thought, you know what? That might be what it is. That might be that otherness, that greenness that I've been tasting. If Brian Glenn says apricot, I'll go with that, and I'll just say, okay, man, that's apricot. Okay. So I'm going to say that settles that. Now, at this point, I'm no longer tasting that. That was really in the first third, maybe the first half. But anyway, I was really glad and relieved to hear him say that he tastes apricot, because immediately I was like, ding, 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 ding. There is some kind of a fresh greenness. And my brain was going toward like apple peel, like green apple or something like that. And so I will go with Brian and I will say it has an apricot. So there's that. The body on this has ramped way up in the final third. It's really now what I would say a medium to full body, where it started out like mellow. Like the first 5 minutes of this, I was like, wow, there's hardly anything to this. So it's been a very interesting ramp up in the boldness, in the fullness of body. But anyway, still got about, 25 minutes left on this probably. I'm a pretty slow smoker. It's been about right at an hour probably. Getting down to the nub now. It's really getting very hot and squishy. Getting a little bit of a tongue bite at this point, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it quits. Interestingly though, even though the spiciness of this has gotten so prominent, the smoke is actually still very smooth. It's been a really smooth smoke. There was really nothing harsh about this. I would give it a little bit of a negative on the draw because it was such a loose draw in the beginning. It was weird. It threw off the whole experience to start out with. That did get corrected down towards the middle of it. I wasn't feeling like it was just wide open anymore. There was a transition. I would call it a very slow and gradual transition that just kept going, kept transitioning the whole time. From a very mellow body all the way up to a full body. So down here at the end, it's definitely full body, full oily, spicy, woody, espresso kind of strength on the body. But this has been a pleasurable smoking experience. It really has. So, hey, so far Gurkha is doing pretty good, impressing me. So anyway, there is my review on the Gurkha Legend Warlord. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys next time.